You're watching on demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Kay Adams, Brenda Edwards, Colleen Nolan, and Janet Street Porter.
That is the best wave that I've seen from Janet in a long time. You must
No,
be
but it was a wave and a smile.
Hello and welcome to your first Loose Women of the Week. Lots coming up today. We are talking aliens following last week's US congressional hearing that seemingly confirmed the existence of ETs on Earth. I know. But is there really a starman waiting in the sky? And if so, would you want to know if aliens have landed? Also, in a world obsessed with ageing, would you want to come face to face with your future self? Apparently, another new filter lets you test it, and the results are pretty accurate. We'll be putting it... He's going to sue us. I wouldn't be putting that on there. And she is normally putting her knowledge skills to good use on the chase, but today we're going to be seeing a very different side to the vixen. As she swaps quizzing for crooning with a sultry performance in our studio a little bit later on. Quizzing for crooning. Hey, now, Brenda, you've had a bit of a big weekend, haven't you?
When have I not?
Well, have you not? I know, but this was bigger than usual.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm doing We Will Rock You by night. And on Friday, myself and Tanisha were invited to Stormzy's 30th birthday party. Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. So I finished the show on Friday night and literally ran across West London to Mayfair.
It looks as if he's bowing to you there.
Oh, no, it was... I mean, you know how much I love Stormzy. He's just been so great since everything with Jamal, and it's just an honour to be there. But it was just amazing. You know, everybody was up on the floor. I got there, Judy was there, Charlene, Alison, and we were there dancing and having a good time. I'm there with my full blue makeup on straight from the stage. But he's just such a lovely young man, warm, and you know, it was... The thing for me, it was more like everybody was holding on to their goodie bags afterwards, literally on the dance floor. It was just fabulous.
And where's our stuff from it?
Sorry. If you weren't invited, you didn't get one.
No. You'll make Colleen feel bad. Her idea of a goodie bag is like a party bag with a popper in it.
Bit of cake, a balloon and a popper.
Yeah. She's happy. It doesn't
Honestly,
take
I don't
much.
put it down.
Now, ahead of a visit to Aberdeenshire today, the Prime Minister has announced an expansion of oil and gas drilling in the North Sea amid ongoing rows in his party about the future of its climate commitment. Not only that, the government is said to be considering a crackdown on anti-motorist policies. I think that's front page in the newspapers today. Mr Sunak's words there, including limiting the power of local authorities and reversing lower speed limit zones. So, Janet, is he choosing cars over the climate, do you think?
I think he's choosing votes over everything else. And that's the truth of the matter. I mean, at the last climate summit, we signed all these agreements. Boris was there, it happened in Cornwall, and I think there's been another one since then. We signed up to go carbon neutral by 2030. And I think a lot of the public thought that was a really good thing. But since then, we've seen fuel prices go up, inflation rise, food prices have had a really big effect on people's household budgets, plus mortgage rates have gone up too. And I think politicians have realised that these green policies could cost people a lot more than they were thinking at the time when they were passed. I think what's happened in London in particular, that Sadiq Khan brought in a low emission zone and then wanted to extend it. And I can see why. And by the way, it wasn't his idea to have the low emission zone. That was brought in by the Tories before he was mayor. Yeah.
But it's not just about green policy, it's about health, isn't it?
It's about health, and it's because children can't breathe the polluted, horrible air in London. And I completely agree with that. But because I live in London, I see also the impact of the low traffic neighbourhoods, which is another thing where whole areas, not just in London but in other cities around Britain, have been blocked off to keep cars and commuters out. Now, the impact has been, it's had a huge impact on it. It's pushed traffic onto main roads. It's made driving around all our cities much slower. And it's become really, really unpopular. Plus, they haven't got a scrappage scheme for diesel and petrol cars. And the government said they want to phase them out by 2030.
And they're still committed to that, you know, to having no new sales of
you know
petrol
what?
and diesel
Car
by 2030.
manufacturing is a big part of our economy. And at the moment, we know that if we are to go electric, the charging points, we're 10 years behind. Plus, the people who are going to build the battery factories want a clear policy from the government.
There will be obstacles. Obviously, it's going to be difficult. But is the fact that there will be obstacles reasons not to go ahead? I don't know about you, Colleen and Brenda. For me, it feels that we are at a point of major change at the moment. And change is always difficult. People always resist it, and it is never trouble-free. But I think there is an awareness now of, you know, climate change, that people think we need a long future plan rather than something that is a political response to a short-term situation. And I mean, I was listening to radio this morning. It was talking about us being, you know, reaching net zero by 2050. I think our UK target is. I'm thinking I'll be dead. I mean, the chances are seriously, I'm going to be dead.
Yes, you will.
Most of it, yeah, thank you. Exactly. Most of us are going to be anywhere. My kids won't be.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope. And they're the ones that I want to plan for.
Because it's very easy to look at all these policies and go, oh, 2030, 2050, I won't be here, I'm not bothered. But actually, I am bothered. If you've got children, I'm bothered for them and their children. And my kids always point that out. And we do everything we can, you know, as far as recycling. And it's always about... I mean, there's no point in denying climate change is happening because we can see it every day. You know, with everything that's going on in the world, etc., you know, it's obvious about climate
Well, even
change.
our rubbish weather at the moment is related to climate change.
Oh, yeah, because of the forest fires in the Mediterranean are the result of climate change, insofar as when the forest fires start, which they do every year, now it's harder and harder to put them out because the ground is so much drier, and that's down to climate change. And there are more forest fires in more places. But what it comes down to is what effort is each individual person in our society prepared to make? Because you could turn around and say private jet use, for example, has gone up phenomenally.
I've stopped using mine.
Well, exactly. And they pollute more than anyone else. So we can't moan at holiday-makers queuing to go to the Mediterranean if we're not banning private
But
jets.
then that's why it's got to be structural.
Yeah, but you say, you know, I kind of I agree with what everybody's saying, but for me, I think it is you have to take a personal responsibility. And just over last night, the last 24 hours, I was thinking I want to be meat-free and go meat-free and try and do my bit to try and help. And I think that's what everybody can do.
God, that's a big one for you, Brenda.
Yeah, and it's one I just don't agree with.
I know,
we haven't got an hour to argue.
Well, that's because you've not researched.
I know, but anyway, Janet, if you stick to your roadkill, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. And you know what? I've got a diesel car. I'm driving a diesel car because a previous government told me to buy diesel. Yeah. And now I've got to get rid of it.
When have you ever done what you've been told to do?
You're in a perky mood today.
Yeah, she is, actually. I like that one. Right, talking of change, teachers have revealed that pupils' voices are changing after binging shows from across the pond. That's America.
OK.
They've developed American accents, and with reports that regional pronunciations of words could be wiped out within 45 years in favour of southern sayings. As a proud northerner, Colleen, are we in danger of losing our local lingo?
Well, I don't think so, honey. Like, I still think I'm
Colleen.
very, you know...
Can I just reach out to you?
You're so not my type.
What's happening?
I don't know.
I don't...
Am I in an episode of The Golden Girls or something?
Oh, I love the Golden Girls.
That's another subject.
I think with younger people, because they're now watching different things than we watch, you know, I mean, they're watching more YouTube things and Netflix and online stuff, and it is very American-based.
Yeah.
So if you're watching that from a very young age, you're going to pick up that
it's
accent.
natural.
It's natural.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, when I'm here, people go, oh, you're so northern. But when I go back to Blackpool, they go, what's happened to your accent? You know, and my sisters are still very Irish, so I've got a mixture of the two. I don't know where I'm from, guys.
Yeah. but it's that mix that's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, if we all had the same accent, I think it would just be such a
Boring.
terrible
Even
thing.
within London, there are different accents. I mean, when I grew up in London in the 50s, I grew up in Fulham, which was working class area in West London, and taxi drivers could tell that I came from West London, and as opposed to Cockneys who came from East, you know, from round Whitechapel, the E numbers, as we call them. But now there's another accent in London, which is almost like a North London accent, which started out about 15 years ago, and it's a combination of like Cockney mixed with Greek, Cypriot, Turkish thrown in as well. If you watch a show like Stathlet's Flats on Channel 4, they all talk it. It's brilliant. I love it. It's absolutely musical.
But that's the beauty of language. It's always evolving.
I've always said I love accents. I love just to hear all the different accents from everywhere. And like you say, I'm born and bred Luton, and when I moved to London, people were telling me that I had an accent, which I didn't think there was a Lutonian accent. But then when I go to somewhere else and people think that I've got an East End kind of accent and I'm not from, you know, so I just find it wonderful. But there are sometimes, obviously, you guys know, sometimes if I get excited, I might bust into a bit of Caribbean every now and then. You know, that's an accent, but I keep my accent, keep it.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel different when you do that? Because, I mean, I know if I speak more Scottish, I don't know, it changes something inside
you.
You get
all
crosser.
day.
Do I get crosser?
Yeah, I
You do
think
get
when you're
chippy.
angry, your Scottish comes out more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my-
It's called enthusiasm, that's what it's called.
Oh, I'm going to bust your head in it. Yeah, I don't know, but why is that? Maybe when you're stressed, you go back to your kind of natural state.
Well, I
and you
watch
forget
a
all
lot of
these
television
affectations.
with subtitles now.
Oh, God.
What? All television?
Yeah, Shetland. I watch with subtitles. Sorry.
Very controversial. There's some Aberdonians up there. Will we go to the break just to sort of avoid a row? I think we will.
I love it.
I
It's
think we will.
lovely.
Yeah. Still to come, we have got a special musical performance from the Chasers' Vixen. That's Jenny Ryan. Really looking forward to that. Could aliens really be living amongst us? Janet and Brenda go head-to-head on whether the latest alien revelations might be more 70s sci-fi instead of actual science. But find out why Cole would just love a cuddle with E.T. No. That's right after this. Welcome back. We are talking aliens in just a moment, but from life on Mars to aliens on Earth, would you want to know if aliens had landed? Done a really interesting poll on that, actually. Also, would you want to know what you look like when you are older? A new realistic aging filter has seen people comparing how they look today with what their face could possibly look like decades from now. We are unfortunately putting it to the test ourselves. I'm sorry, Colleen. They insisted. I didn't want to do it either. Wish us luck. But first, it is competition time now. Your chance to win a terrific and totally tax-free £90,000. Here's Andy Peters with all the details.
Welcome to the Love Island villa. I have to say, the sun is shining, it's really, really hot, and all the islanders are currently asleep. I'm in the garden, lounging by the pool. Don't lounge at home, grab your phone, because I've got a massive £90,000 to give away. It is a huge amount of money and guaranteed to go to one lucky winner. That lucky winner could be you. So what would you do with the £90,000 that you could win if you enter this competition? Would you pay off some of the mortgage? Would you travel to beautiful locations like this here in Mallorca? Or would you just save it for a rainy day? No rainy days here. Somebody is guaranteed to win £90,000, and that somebody could be you. So, as I said, grab your phone, you can enter online. 90 grand is up for grabs, and here's how. For another chance to win £90,000, text cash to 83123. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Or go to the website. Entries cost £2. You can call 09068 783 123. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY29, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 3 p.m. on Friday the 25th of August. Good luck. You could win £90,000 if you enter. You've got to be in it to win it, as I always say. And remember, who will win Love Island? Find out tonight on ITV2.
Now, last week, the US Congress held a public hearing which saw whistleblowers claim the government was hiding information about UFOs, or UAPs that they're now called.
That's annoying.
Well, yes, but they're now unidentified aerial phenomena.
No, they're not. The UFOs.
OK, UFOs. Seemingly, it confirmed the presence of aliens on Earth.
Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Well, not human. I suppose it could be a monkey.
I mean, isn't there just the possibility that a bird pooed on the spacecraft?
Well, it has to be said, the Pentagon has denied the claims, but half of Brits do believe in aliens and a fifth think that they have actually already landed. Brenda, this is your moment.
You see, my thing is, you can't say have all this money that's spent, all them people that are in there debating whether it's real or not, you spent all this money, there must be some truth in there, or else you're not going to hear the man out in the first place. But for me, obviously, I believe in life after death. I believe if there's life after death, then there's life, there's something going on else on there. We grew up watching Star Trek with my granny, and, I was always watching there, how come that one's yellow and that one's blue, this one's pink, that one's got 16 heads? It's like, where did that come from? It's come from somewhere. You have to believe, you can't just say, we are the only life form on the planet.
I think it's quite egotistical of us to think in the whole universe galaxy that we are the only living things on a planet when there is so many planets.
Well, the universe, yeah.
In the whole universe, you know. I think that's quite egotistical, really. Why would we be?
You convinced, Janet?
Not at all.
That's because she is one.
I was going to say, for all you know, I could be an alien in human form.
Yeah.
No, I
I did watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That was exactly that, humans.
I always look at these films and I just think, is that the best they can do? I mean, E.T.
Oh, I love having E.T.
Just looked like a wrinkly tadpole on two legs.
That's not the kind of wrinkle I thought you were going to say, but that I'm quite pleased with that, to be honest.
E.T. I mean, honestly, it's just a fairy story. Get over it. I've never believed in aliens since years ago. I was making this documentary where I walked across England and had to spend a whole day with Reg Presley from the Trogs looking at crop circles and we're roaming around the Salisbury Plains while he was sure that aliens came in every summer.
He just wanted to get you in the long grass, Janet.
I've never believed in aliens. And, I mean, I grew up with really frightening science fiction films like Quatermass, and when I was little, they did really scare the living daylights out of you.
So I think that if they are here, that's why they wouldn't want us to know, because I think it would cause mass panic and fear.
Yeah.
But would you want to know?
But why do you assume that they're taking a form? When he says the biologics on a wrecked spacecraft are non-human, I mean, that is all a bit vague, isn't it? But what if we had already inherited, God forbid, something in the air from another planet? Is that called an alien? Something we can't see? Why are you assuming that from another planet they've got, a two-up, two-down house, a car, and they're going to get on a plane and come here, and in return we're going to send them Richard Branson and Elon Musk?
Sounds like quite a good deal,
It is a good deal.
But I suppose for most of us, I mean, obviously for people who work in this field, like for real, it's different. For most of us, we are fed by sci-fi and, all these different movies and books and stuff. And as you say, it's always this feeling that they're going to come and attack us.
No, not a 3T.
Well, not if they're ET, no, that's right. But maybe if there is life on another planet, and I can attend with you, Janet, but then I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, if it's, you know, I don't think
there could be a life form on it.
Yeah.
A life form. That's my point.
Would you want to know?
I'd want to know. I want to know. And you can't, like I said, you can't have this man who's got his suited and booted. He's sitting on a panel.
I'm not
and saying,
believing a
"I
bloke
can't
because he's
discuss-"
got a decent
just
suit on.
No, it's not because he's got a decent suit, but he's got, you
We've
know,
all
he's
fallen
saying he
into that
can't
trap,
discuss
Brenda.
it on the public forum. It's all very secretive. Everything is very secretive, and I just think they need to stop with that and give us a bit more transparency as to who we're living with.
I think, unfortunately...
So you'd want to be told, would you want to be told if they came up with something more than the guy's got a nice suit?
Well, I don't necessarily want to be told because I think the internet is thriving with theories about aliens and it's fueling the worst kind of trolling and theories on the internet. I really, really do. And I watched this film last night with Justin Theroux talking to the far right, you know, bloggers in America. And, you know, that this conspiracy theory stuff is awful. And give them stuff about aliens and viruses from outer space. It's just giving them material.
But what about... I love it.
You're going to bring this back to ET?
No, ET, no. What about all the sightings that have been and haven't been, couldn't be explained?
Exactly.
Like, a lot of them could be, but a lot of them couldn't be explained and have never been
That's exactly
explained.
why I'm preparing my bunker.
Why are you scared of them?
I'm not scared of them. I just want to have a home when they come.
So have you... so you're buying a house that contains 3 bedrooms
And a
somewhere...
basement, and it's got lots of water stocked in there so I can survive.
Oh, my God,
well, pass that out
So
to
you're
any
assuming that
invading
Brenda
forces.
is a prepper, everyone. Brenda is a prepper. Listen.
So you're going to be in a room in a bunk with a load of cat food.
And my
Bunk.
cats, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure it's got communications to the outside world so we can get you out.
Tune in to Loose Women next week and you'll find out more about that. We did do a poll on this. Would you want to know if the aliens have landed? And yes, 72% of you would like to know.
Yes.
Still to come, we're talking about intergenerational friendships after Lady Gaga paid tribute to her dear friend, the late Tony Bennett. But just how important is it to have friends of all ages? And speaking of ageing, an aged filter on social media is going viral for predicting the fate of one's appearance down to the very last wrinkle, and we are going to put it to the test. I know, Colleen, I know. Right after this. Welcome back to your first Loose Woman of the Week. Keeping those Monday blues at bay, it's Colin Nolan, Janet Street Porter, Brenda Edwards and me, Kay Adams. I found a T-shirt with Colin Nolan in my house the other day. I'm going to bring it in. It's all sparkly Colin Nolan. And then I'll burn it. Anyway, in just a moment, would you want to come face to face with your future self? We are going to be trying out a new ageing filter in just a moment. And stop showing that, he's going to sue us. And it's the Vixen as you have never seen her before. We've got an exciting musical performance from Jenny Ryan just a little bit later on too. But first, last night, Lady Gaga paid tribute to her close friend Tony Bennett following his death earlier this month, aged 96. Actually, we've got the statement here, which is really beautiful. Well, part of it, actually, it was very lengthy, but she said, although there were 5 decades between us, he was my friend. My real true friend. Our age difference didn't matter. In fact, it gave us each something that neither of us had with most people. If I could say anything to the world, I would say don't discount your elders. Don't leave them behind when things change. Take care of your elders, and I promise you, you will learn something special, maybe even magical. It really was a beautiful tribute. And that thing, there's 5 decades between us, but he was my friend. We always put ourselves in these age boxes, don't we? And we probably do block ourselves off from great friendships.
Yeah, I think that's true. And one of the rules I've always made for myself, and I don't have many rules, is don't get boxed in with people your own age. Don't make your friendship, your close friends, just people of your generation, because you're only going to get the views of people who grew up through the same circumstances as you, by and large. And so what I've always tried to do is make friends with the people where I've worked or things that I'm interested in, like music or art or architecture. And I've just thought, and I like quite difficult people too. I like people whose views that I don't... Yeah, well, I work with a load of them here. But what's good is to recognise that you can't live in a world where people just tell you what you want to hear and agree with your point of view. And it's really good to hear someone's point of view, even if you don't agree with it. Just hear it out and then think, well, what do I think about that now? And
Go on, Colleen, this is your chance. Go, go,
Yeah.
go, go.
I can't be bothered. No, I love all the decades and all the ages, and I'm very lucky that, you know, I'm surrounded by young people, because obviously my kids and their partners and wives and all their friends are always around at the house. And I love listening to them and hearing them talk. And equally, they like hearing things, you know, that I've done that's different to them when I was their age. And I think that's important. And I think it keeps you young, actually, because I think it's really easy. I hate people of my age who go, oh, well, I can't do that, I'm nearly 60. And I want to go, what does that mean? You can do whatever you want, you know, because it is, for me, it is a mindset.
Yeah, and also it's really important what you were saying there, Janet, like not surrounding yourself with people who've grown up in the same circumstances. So I don't know if people actually change. I mean, I suspect that you were the same spirit when you were 24
I do.
than you are now. and all of us probably. But then, of course, the world changes around us and that changes our reactions to it. But as people, I don't think we change that much.
I think I'm still a big kid at heart. Not think, I know I'm still a big kid at heart. And I say to people, I don't say, how old are you? I say, how young are you? Because as far as I'm concerned, your age is your age. It's irrelevant, really. But I like the fact that I get wise experience and knowledge from my Auntie Pam, for example, who knows all the history of the family and you know, when she was fighting in the war and everything. And that's really nice and interesting to hear. And at the same time, as Colleen said, I love to surround myself with my children around music so that I've got my finger on the pulse and know the latest dance moves of what to do. And I think it's really nice to swap that experiences and swap that information.
I envy you that, though, because I never knew my grandparents. One was alive, I think, when I was born, but very old, so by the time I could acknowledge it was my grandparent, they'd gone. And I miss people that have that relationship with grandparents to hear about everything, really. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
But I've got you guys, and you're pretty old. So.
I was just waiting for it.
Yeah, I wish my dad's father, my English granddad, had lived longer, because he was so intelligent and such a good, you know, so good to talk to, much better than my dad, in fact. But obviously my Welsh granddad had died long before I was born, and then my Welsh granny was not a very communicative, chatty person. I mean, she'd been through a lot. She'd been raised in a very, very poor family, and I think life had been really tough for her. Plus the fact she didn't talk English much and I didn't speak Welsh, and that was my problem as much as hers. So it wasn't that easy communication. And my mother spoke Welsh to her sister and didn't not to us. Didn't.
But then that goes back to what you said. It's the circumstances that were different rather than people that are different. Well, that's how people are inside. But of course, from the outside, how we look, people are obsessed with, you know, ageing and the ageing process. And the social media is absolutely awash with filters, showing how you are going to look when you look older. This is the latest one, which is uncannily accurate, I'm afraid to say, predicting how you're going to look when you get older, warts and all. People have been testing its accuracy by using it. So pictures of celebrities when they were younger to see if it can accurately predict what they look like now. And some of them are pretty close there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're really good.
I mean, there's that Hugh Grant one again. I think all they've done is put a grey wig on him, to be fair. I don't know if they've done much different. But the thing that troubles me about this is the reaction you're expecting is that so it's bad to grow older. And we're going to have to get over that, aren't we? Or there's always going to be a negative.
I mean, I'm old now. You can't stop ageing. It doesn't matter what they write on creams about anti-ageing. There's no such thing as anti-ageing. We all age, full stop. That's a fact of life.
And age is beautiful.
And age is fantastic, exactly. All that happens as you get older is all the bits on your face drop further down, and unless you want to spend a lot of money hiking them all back up again, that's the way they're going. And so...
I think, though, what worries me is, for younger people, I don't think this is a good app, because they're so already being almost told that age isn't a good thing and you've got to look a certain way, and now they're throwing this. I think it's not healthy. It's good if you're going to use it as a fun thing.
Yeah, well, we have done that.
That's not fun.
No. Don't expect a lot of fun coming up. So they've done it with us. Brenda, let's start with you. So they took a photograph of you from way back. I'm not sure exactly when.
Back?
Well, I don't know, there you go.
That's 2005 X Factor.
OK, well done. Thank you for that. And that's what it predicted that you would look like now.
BDC.
What's that? See, I don't know if that... Oh.
She ain't aged much. That's the cocoa butter. Yes. Yum.
Yeah. I don't know if I think that's right. OK, let's look at yours, Janet. Let's see. So here's the original photograph. Don't know if you know when it's from, Janet. When's that from, roughly?
80s.
Are you in your 30s, apparently, I'm told?
Oh, you look
fabulous.
They just changed the colour of your face.
Yeah. I'm not getting knocked out by this so far, is it?
No.
I don't know.
No.
No.
Well, I do think you still look the same anyway.
I look more or less the same as long as I keep talking and no one can see what's going on under there.
Does it have the option on this app to change it by a certain amount of years, or is it like, can you do it 10, 20,
I don't know.
30?
I don't know, actually. Right, Colleen, let's see yours. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see, Colleen.
Oh, look at that baby face. When was that?
Who is that?
No, that's from the... Must be early 80s, 70s,
Oh, look, a
80s.
50-year-old with a party hat on.
I told you I love a party bag.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's not
This
as bad
is very
as I thought.
underwhelming, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest.
We'd be looking like E.T.
I know.
You'd be seeing me.
Well, don't worry, you
Let's see
haven't seen
yours.
mine
Yeah.
yet. Maybe it's the E.T. one. Oh.
That doesn't even look like you.
Do you know what? I love that jumper. Oh, my God. Oh, my
You
God.
look younger now than that first photo.
What did they think I was doing, living in a ditch?
Oh, no, yours is horrible.
Oh, my God.
Yours is horrible.
Yours is horrible. Do you...
Pull that back up.
No, put it away. Do you know what the thing is?
Yours is so terrible.
I do think I look like my dad.
You've got a moustache. You've actually got a moustache.
Yeah, I look like my dad. What,
thought
I think
your
there's something
nose
against me, or what, have I been sacked? Is that what's happened?
You look beautiful.
Thank you,
You look
liar.
beautiful.
My God, we went through 4 minutes of We've gone back to the discussion about aliens there for a second.
This is a good photo, the first one.
I love that photo, that jumper. I've
sorry.
got it. Still to come. For years, she has impressed us with her impeccable knowledge on the chase, but now we get to see a more sultry side to the vixen. Ahead of a special musical performance, we're catching up with Jenny Ryan right after this. See you soon. Cutting straight to the chase. I thought it was quite good. Don't groan at my lines, for goodness sake. You may know today's guest as the quizzing brain box, the Vixen, but she has taken a break from tea time telly and trying a hand at cabaret crooning for a new show at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So here to tell us all about it, please welcome the Vixen, Jenny Ryan. Welcome, Jenny. Well, listen, we knew you could sing from Celebrity X Factor back in 2019, but this is quite a big diversion for you, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I kept getting asked after X Factor because unfortunately it hit at just the wrong time, just before the thing that happened. We all know what I mean. But I do get asked really frequently when I meet people in the street, if I'm, grabbing a coffee, or when we're going to hear you sing again. So I've kind of taken my own initiative, and I've put this show together with my MD, Owen Mallon, and we've created a nice evening to share with people and share all my stories and my songs.
How did you choose the songs? Are they from life experiences, or are they just Like, favourite songs that you like, or...?
They're sort of some of my favourite songs that I enjoy singing, but we've also made it into a narrative, so it's almost telling the story of how I got to where I am now, picking some of my favourite show tunes and pop songs and a couple of Eurovision numbers, and yeah, just songs I enjoy.
When you were growing up, did you want to be a singer?
And it never crossed my mind that it was a possibility. But I mean, I remember a career session where they told me not to even imagine working in broadcasting, TV, anything like that.
They were right.
You know,
Honestly, it's hard.
you know, it was unrealistic. But you know, it's nice to be in a position where I can, you know, share the joy that I get from performing and singing with people who seem to enjoy it just as much as I do.
Aren't you tempted in the middle of the chase just to break into song?
Well, we've got Brad, who's, you know, a #1 selling album artist.
Yeah, well, don't do yourself down.
We've got Sean, though, and he's the resident singer, really. He's the crooner. I'll leave it to him.
I'm just thinking how sad that is, though, that you were saying at school that you were kind of told that's never going to happen for you.
Yeah, we were very much brought down to earth with a bump, and anything that I wanted to get into that was anything out of the ordinary. But I think we should be encouraging people to...
They don't know, do they?
Chase their dreams a little bit more and think outside of what is the norm. We've all got talent, we should be able to share it.
Yeah. And how did the chase happen for you then? Because you were setting questions at one point, were you?
Yeah, so years ago I was working behind the camera. I was a question writer. I did things like Weakest Link and QI. And, I was asked to write the questions for the pilot series of The Chase. So the first 10 episodes, I was on the other side doing all the run-throughs in the office. And when Brad came in for the first time to try out the format, that was a really thrilling moment, because then you knew we were pretty sure it was going to be a hit, but who knew 14 years on?
Oh, I love it.
And I'm part of it now. I'm right in the middle of it.
But it's like, so did you pick your look for it? Because it's so different to, like, so glamorous and gorgeous and all that, and then you look very stern on that. Did you want to look?
I wanted to create sort of an armour, like it's a costume, but it also gives me a licence to be, you know, even more fierce. So to become the vixen, have the hair put up, put the frock on, and then the glasses last of all, it means I can be just a little bit more fearsome and intimidating than I would be in real life. So she's me dialed up, but I had a bit of contribution in coming up with the style. I sent a lot of pictures of Christina Hendricks in Mad Men over, and that was their interpretation.
Does it ever spill over into real life, though? If anyone annoys you in a shopping queue or something like that.
You're giving Janet ideas.
Yeah.
Well, she is sort of the fierce side of me, and one thing that my colleague Mark always says is our personas on The Chase are us dialed up to 11.
Yeah.
And so she's there. If something is not quite right, you can bring out that inner diva.
You are terrifying. Yeah. Honestly, when I was on The Chase, I was completely intimidated, and it takes quite a lot to do.
That's good to hear.
And also, I want to ask, why is it when you're getting asked questions on The Chase and you're getting quite, you know, confident, suddenly you get one about rugby tours in South Africa? Is that deliberate?
You've got to be able to have an answer for everything. I mean, I'd be terrible at a rugby question as well, because I'm not into rugby union, I'm a rugby league girl. But the thing is, you've got to be able to come up with something or know that you don't know something. That's another skill in itself, and know when to pass, move on to the next one, and don't worry about it. It's a very sporting mindset we have.
So what Jenny are we going to see then in this new show at Edinburgh?
Very much more just Jenny, a little sprinkle of Vixen. The Vixen's the person who gets me over the line at the side of stage. And once I'm out there, I want it to be more Jenny. I want people to know me, not just the character that we've created that's even scary to Janet Street Porter.
I mean, you've got to get that on your posters outside the thing, haven't you? And I think the audience are going to get the opportunity to ask you questions in the show as well.
Yes,
so
turn the tables.
Turned. Absolutely, yeah. Oh, well, listen, Jenny, thank you so much. It's been really lovely having you here. And we are so looking forward to hearing you sing. But you'll be performing at the TV at the Gilded Balloon in Edinburgh. Yes, indeed. Yes, so I will see you there. Yes. We'll buy each other a commiseratory drink. Jenny Ryan, everyone. Competition time again. Your chance to be £90,000 richer.
Hello, hello, and welcome to the Love Island Villa, where tonight, live on ITV2, a couple behind that door will be crowned the winners. But who will it be? You'll get the chance to decide when you vote later tonight. But for now, grab that same phone, because I'd love for you to win £90,000. There we go, you could be a winner yourself. £90,000 is up for grabs. It is a life-changing amount of money, and it's guaranteed to go to one lucky winner. And that winner really could be you. If you love money, then this is a competition prize for you, £90,000. What would you do with it? Pay off some of the mortgage, save it for a rainy day, or maybe you fancy a brand new car. Someone is guaranteed to win 90 grand, and that someone could be you. For another chance to win £90,000, text cash to 83123. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message, or go to the website. Entries cost £2. You can call 09068 783 123. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge, or post your name and phone number to DY29, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 3 p.m. on Friday the 25th of August. Good luck. Remember, that's £90,000 in tax-free cash that could be yours. And also remember, tonight, 9 o'clock, ITV2, it's the finale of Love Island.
Good luck. Well, that's it from us until Thursday, but here to play us out, and like you've never seen her before, it's The Chase's Vixen with her rendition of When You're Good to Mama from the musical Chicago. Please give it up for Jenny Ryan.
Any of the chickies in my pen, they'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me, because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When